2004, my family and I took a long journey to California, the USA. It was not only the first time for me to visit America, but also a whole new field of view. Of course, we went to the Golden Gate Bridge, Yosemite, Disneyland, Las Vegas, and many noted tourist sites. However, these are not what I'm going to share with you tonight. The first camping experience on the northern coast of California instead was the most remarkable memory that I have ever had. 2 days vacation on the scorching hot August days was planned by my father's friend. We woke up early on that day, and more than 10 people were ready for a marvelous trip. Our destination was Mendocino Coast, a beautiful coastline along the Azure Pacific Ocean. Along the Azure Pacific Ocean. Although there's beautiful landscape and exciting activities waiting for us, it took us more than 3.5 hours to get away from noisy urban areas and have a tranquil countryside. As soon as we arrived, the children couldn't wait to jump off the cars in order to look at numerous seagulls everywhere in the harbor. The adults, on the other hand, were busy chatting with each other and gazing at the beautiful ocean which sparkles in the sunlight. After eating delicious seafood, we had to board back to take a train ride. The train was called Skunk Train because back in the 1920s, the motor cars emitted smelly gas into the air. Therefore, even the smelly engines has improved over time. The name Skunk has remained. Along the ride, the train singer delightfully played his guitar while a bunch of tourists cheerfully clapped their hands and danced with the rhythm. With my years listening to peaceful country music, I was more fascinated by the scenes outside the train. The towering redwoods, the Little River, Missouri, and the valley. Wide countryside with no limitations, and the North Spur Station and the Green Forest made me feel like traveling back in time. In the evening, while the sky was still light, we came to our camping site. It's also in Fort Bragg. Where we were going to sleep that night was surrounded by tall pine trees, and there's a mirror-like lake not far from our tent. Although we were warned to be aware of bear's appearance, but to the first camper like me, the excitement of having a barbecue for dinner and building my own tent was far more than the fear of bears. I remember that we kids played shooting darts, chased after each other, and were busy finding foodstuffs in the woods after building our tent. It's noteworthy that my tent was built mostly by my American friends, since I was a little bit clumsy and had no clue about it. In the evening, while the cloud changes color, we gather around campfire in the dinner time and grill marshmallow after eating full. Because grilling marshmallow was meant to be fun, we often over-grilled it or accidentally dropped it into the fire. The night in the forest was chilly, far from the hot weather during the day. Hence, I had wrapped myself up like a booba during the sleep to prevent from getting cold. On the next morning, when the place we stayed in was like the early spring, and I could see the sunlight glimmering on dew of emerald green leaves. The atmosphere was still cold and refreshing that it totally woke me up. Remember the lake that I previously mentioned? We spent most of our time before noon beside the lake. Most of my friends were interested in fishing, which I would like to try before seeing a box of live earthworm. So, I tried something less scary and more romantic, such as rowing a small boat in the lake and picnicking near the delightful scenery. Four Rose was our last scenic spot of this trip. It was a former Russian establishment on the northern coast of California on our way back to San Jose. The fort was built in the purpose of hunting sea otters. After crazy hunting for 16 years, the animal was in extinction, so the 4 was left behind until now. It dark and quiet when we came back to our home. Everyone was tired but full of joy and memory. Right now, you might think that's the end of the journey. To other people, this might be the case. But to me, there's another touching moment. Actually, the day was my birthday. So, although I think that there's no time to celebrate because we came home so late, but that's just only a thought. After we came back home, my father and Uncle Ling rushed to the store before it closed at night and bought me a delicious chocolate cake. Also, my friend gave me presents while everyone sang birthday songs to me. I was so touched that I could think of no better ways to end this marvelous trip. Now, whenever I look at those pictures we took at that time, I thought that although the trip was short, but the unforgettable experience and the warmness of people were everlasting. Next time, when my friends come back to Taiwan, I hope that I can plan a marvelous trip just as good as they did for me. Thank you. And